everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio. If you are not new, thank you so much for coming back and watching. On this channel, we talk about all things beauty, and today we're talking about this right here. So, I have been on a color high. I've been trying to challenge myself to play with color. I am not the most comfortable playing with color, and I know you would have never guessed by my posts recently and my videos recently, but this is something that I've really determined to do this year, is to challenge myself in all areas of life, and with makeup, this is how I've been doing it. I love the way that this color looked. I wasn't too sure of how this color, like this look, was gonna turn out, just because, I don't know, there's something about colorful or even cool tones, it just isn't reassuring. Like you're playing with new boundaries and new things that I'm not comfortable with. So I feel like I love the way that this turned out because I stuck to it, and I trusted and confident what I know as far as my techniques go. So I will not get into my preachy sermon mode just because I've been super motivational lately. But I do want to encourage you for a minute. If this is not a look that you would normally try, I want you to stop yourself from not watching the rest of this video and watch it. Try it. It is techniques that I've been doing over and over and over on all of my neutral looks, all of my warm tones, but I've applied it to the colorful side of things. So I just want you guys, I want to encourage you guys to try something new, something different. I know that we just got done watching a few fun videos. So we did St. Patty's Day, and then you guys watched me try to get ready with a few of my girlfriends. And then we also tried a different variation of this blue. But I really do want to encourage you guys to try this look, just because you're never going to know until you try it. You're never going to truly experience like all of this if you don't try it. So just try it, so you can say you did, just for yourself. You don't have to go anywhere afterwards. You can just do it at home. But I feel like you should definitely give yourself a try to new things and new experiences. So let me stop talking about that because we got to get into this whole makeup tutorial. I am trying out this guy again. I've used Anastasia Norvina collection palettes for a while now in the past couple of months, and I feel like they are really good quality products. I never saw myself using this palette, ever. Or even this one here. Because remember when I used this guy? Never ever. But again, opening up to new experiences and really trying things before I X them out, I feel like is very important. I am going to get into this tutorial, but before I do, subscribe to my channel. It's very important that you do that. It's a very educational channel, Jojo Palacio. I feel like I've taken on the task of educating people, just because there's a lot of influencers out there that are just doing, and it's really pretty and fun to see all these new looks, but I want you guys to be able to recreate them, and that's part of what I consider is my job, is consulting and teaching. So I'm gonna stop talking, like I said earlier, because I've said that like 10 times, but I haven't stopped talking. And we're gonna get into this tutorial. Subscribe to my channel before you do. Go ahead and do it. You won't regret it. We're gonna learn a lot together this year, and let's get into this tutorial. All right, guys, so we're gonna get started today on this look here. I've rearranged some things on my desk, so bear with me if I look confused or lost, because basically am, to be honest with you. So, hair is on point like always. But today we're gonna get started on this look here. I feel like it's almost watercolor inspired. It's very smoky, very galaxy, but I'm really, really liking it. So let's get started on that. We're gonna start with, of course, our Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. I'm gonna apply that all over the eyelid. Blend it out with my blending brush, the Luxe Blending Brush by Real Techniques. Do you guys ever have issues blending anything out, whether it's the primer or concealer, buffing things in areas that are small like this? Give this brush a try, it's so good. All right, cool. So the next thing we're gonna move on to is the actual setting of this powder. So I'm gonna use my MAC C2 Studio Fix powder. I like to grab that on a nice fluffy brush. I'm gonna use another Real Techniques brush. It is their number 200 eyeshadow brush. I'm just gonna pat this all over where I just finished laying down my. Let's get right into this eyeshadow part. We're gonna start with this guy here. So this is the Jaclyn X Morphy Vault Collection. This is their Bling Boss. The purple that we're looking at here is this shade called Gem. So we're gonna work with that. It's very, very, like a bluish purple. It's very pretty, it blends on easy. It's like a shimmer shade, so even if you don't have a matte, you have a matte, great. If you don't, it's okay. That's what part of it, you don't have a matte shade, it's okay. That's the part that just kind of makes it watercolor and very smoky. There aren't any defined lines. It just kind of gradually builds into this purple. So I love that. I'm gonna start by placing that in the very outer corner V and just really working that in. I like to pat and build this part of the shadow before I start blending. I feel like this part of the technique has been very important recently, especially when you're playing with colors, bold colors like we have been. It's very important that you lay things down and kind of map out where you'd like them to be, where you'd like them to stop, start, the shape that you're creating with them, so that you can really know what you're doing and where you're going. All right, so once I've kind of blown that up where I want to go, I'm going to use the palette that I'm holding right here. This is the Bosia Norvina Collection Mini Pigment Palette Volume 3. And I'm going to take that blue that's in the very center there on a small brush. This is a pencil brush. My BH Cosmetics Marvel Collection, this is the number 7 brush. So I'm going to take that guy, I'm going to take it right along the very edges of that purple, and I'm going to just start blending that out. I love how it starts to just kind of make its own type of color in the edges. That's part of that makes that watercolor type of situation, that very blending that we want to occur. It just looks so pretty in the outer parts. It's so pretty. So once we've done that, we're going to go into this guy one more time. There is a color in the corner, that blue. It is A1. So I'm going to take that on a flat brush. This guy is by Jaclyn Hill and Morphy. It's the JH41 brush. And I'm really going to pick that up, and I like to just kind of wiggle the brush on the eyeshadow palette. It's a little different than when you're picking up a matte. And so after I feel like I've built quite a bit of a product or powder on there, I'm going to just spritz it. And then we'll swipe it onto the eye. Swiping motions is really important for this part. Glitters apply very different than mattes and shimmers. So you just want to make sure that you're taking it from the very inner corner and sweeping up, and really even taking this part up here. Oh, I like that so much. Okay, so after we've done all of that, I'm just going to go back over everything with that purple brush. I'm not going to add any more purple shadow. That shadow is so pretty and pigmented that it like shows through. But I just want to make sure everything is blown out and smoky, so I'm also going to take a clean blending brush and run it through the purple and the blue. All right. Cool, cool. So the next thing we're going to do is put on some liner. I'm going to take my black liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in 0. And I'm just going to do a very quick line above my lashes. Once we do the liner, I'm going to apply some mascara. This is my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. Mascara is a really important part to wearing lashes. And then we're going to apply our favorite lashes. I have been filming like crazy, guys. I have like 3 different videos that I need to edit. And I'm super happy about that. Like, I love the fact that I feel inspired, that I want to film, that I have idea after idea. I'm just so thankful, so grateful, because it's very difficult to think of content. And you're always constantly judging yourself on the quality of that content. Like, you're always second guessing yourself, like, who would watch that? Like, would I want to watch that? And if you did want to watch that, just because you want to watch it doesn't mean that other people want to watch it, you know? So I'm just happy that I've been motivated enough, that ideas have been coming to mind. And they're quite fun videos. I filmed a few with my friends that I feel like I'm really excited. Not a few, it was just one video with my friends that I'm really happy for you guys to see, just because it was really cute. And I know that they know that I do this, and I know that you see some of the videos, but it's different when you're behind the scenes. You kind of get to see all that goes into filming one of these videos, you know, so. All right, so now that our eyes are done, we are gonna go into complexion. So for complexion, we're gonna use our handy dandy Bosia Porefecting primer. I love this in the center of the face. So it is a mattifying charcoal pore treatment. I like that for the center of the face, and then for the out part of the face, outside of the face, we're going to use my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I have the mini version of it. I love that guy. It is so good for dry skin, for combination skin, normal skin. I am combination skin, so that's why I use a combination of 2 different primers. Do you have to do that? No, absolutely not. Urban Decay has a really good primer that is great for combination skin because it is a gripping primer as well as a mattifying primer. But alright, so for my foundation combination, we're going to use these guys right here. So I have the Lancome Tint Idole and the Urban Decay Stay Naked. I use 41 double N in the Stay Naked, and I use 340 Bisque N in the Tint Idole. I feel like the Tint Idole does get a little darker, but this guy is not dark enough for me. So that's why I'm going to take like a half of a pump of the Stay Naked foundation. That one is just way too dark, and I didn't think it was going to be, but it is. So again, I just always mix foundations for 2 reasons really. Either the color is off or the formulation isn't really what I'd like it to be, but I really like the 2 foundations, so I'll just mix them. In this case, they are the Tint Idole is a 24-hour transfer resistant foundation. I love this. It's a matte finish. This is a really pretty foundation for someone who is, let me get the mouth part done because I feel like I'm like, hold on. The Lancome Tint Idole foundation is a really pretty foundation for someone who is matte, wanting a long wear out of their foundation, the lights, medium to full coverage option because it builds really well. The Stay Naked foundation is really more of a satin finish, a very skin-like finish. It is definitely a medium to full coverage. It's very buildable, but the problem with it is that if you're someone who's oily, I don't care how buildable the foundation is, if it is a satin finish, it's going to slip right off of you. So the coverage doesn't really matter at that point, because when foundation can't really stay on the face, it just comes right off. Coverage is not going to matter at that point. So I am just building it up in the areas where I feel like I need to build it up, like this beautiful blemish that I have there with my beauty blender. Guys, I want to say the beauty blender has to be damp, okay? So it is a sponge that starts off small and gets bigger. And I just want to take a moment to say that just because I've come across a few clients that don't know that this turns into this. So you do have to dampen your sponge. I don't mean soak it completely, but dampen it enough to where the sponge does absorb some water and some hydration and you can use it properly. I didn't realize clients did not know that about their beauty sponges. Alright, so let's move on to bronzing and contouring. We're going to do the cream. So I'm going to just take my Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick in medium tan, and we're going to work that into our huge areas. I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics brush to blend that out. This is very good for dry skin, combination skin, and normal skin. If you are oily, skip this part of the routine. You don't need to cream contour, you just need to do your powder part. I just love this because it looks great in photographs. So even when I do have clients that are oily, I will still do this. However, if you're not used to setting with powders and you're not really understand how to set everything, I would just skip the headache for now. I will go into how to do that for oily skin. I will go into cream contouring for dry skin in later videos. I do have some things planned because I do get asked that question a lot. All right, so once that's done with the bronzing, I'm going to go into my contouring with the LA Girl concealer. I just like to put a little bit of that because a little bit goes a really long way with this guy. I'm going to work it into all the regular areas. It's almost, not almost, it is on the exact areas as the Flex Foundation Stick goes. But because it is such a thinner application, it is less product that we're using. It stays in specific areas. So temples, I would really keep that in the temples, and I would really keep it from the tragus to like directly where the eye area is, just because that really helps to carve out your cheeks and make you look a little more defined. So we're going to go into our concealers. For concealer today, we're using these guys. So I am taking, oh, a tear. I'm taking my concealer, the Infallible Full Wear Concealer by L'Oreal, and I'm taking the shades 380 and 345. So 380 is going to be my concealing shade. I'm just going to take that in the very inner corners, around the nose area, where I have my blemishes. center of my forehead. Where else do I want it? I don't want to go back into the container. This is more than enough. I cannot stress that enough when you're applying your concealer. Don't go back into the container. Like, don't dip into it again. Just leave it as is. It's more than enough. So I'm just going to take that and work that into the areas that are furthest away from my face. Very light pressure, guys, when you're covering up a blemish or any type of redness. Very light pressure when you're pushing it into the skin. You don't need to move the product. You don't need to lift any product. You just want to really blend around it. So with the pointed end of the Beauty Blender, I'm just going to take that very close to the bridge of the nose and we're going to blend out. Alright, so next we're going to use our highlighting shade, and this is a 345 in the Infallible long wear concealer or full wear concealer, and I'm going to just take that here. I do like to do a little dot in here. Up here. Down the bridge of the nose. So this is just kind of to highlight, and I like to use it in those specific areas just because that's where I feel like if the light were to hit me directly, it would hit in those specific areas. You don't need much. This concealer is just a highlight. We've already concealed with the first shade, but I just like it to kind of lift this area up here specifically. So I'll kind of really work it here and then blend it into the inner corner as well. Very good full coverage concealer, so a little bit goes a long way. That's where I feel like a lot of clients kind of mess up, is because they want to add more concealer thinking more concealer means more coverage. No, full coverage is more coverage. So if the concealer is truly full coverage, all you need is just enough to cover it up. And if you're dipping 2 or 3 times into the concealer to get the coverage that you want, then you definitely need to consider a different coverage, a different concealer, sorry. I'm going to set that with my Press Compact first. That is the MAC Studio Fix in C2. So I like this compact because it helps to set my makeup. It also adds a little bit of coverage, but C2 is a highlighting shade for me. It is not my foundation shade. C5.5 is like my foundation shade. So I use that to set everywhere else sometimes, but this is specifically where I just finished putting down the concealer. So under eye area, and you want to pat everything into place, guys. After you've already applied layers of concealer and foundation, you really want to try to avoid swiping and swirling, and you want to just pat everything into place. Continue to push everything together. So everywhere where that concealer was just laid down. Next thing I'd like us to do is bake while we're going to finish our under eyes. And to bake, what I'd like to use is my Hourglass Mineral Veil Setting Powder. I love this powder from the under eye area. It bakes, but it gets absorbed by the skin very quickly, so it's not just going to sit there and cause a cast. It is very pretty. It is definitely for light to medium skin tones. I don't know that the dark skin tone should use this. Even if you have like an olive undertone, you might want to not, just because this will leave a cast on you. But if you're a medium to light skin tone, this is beautiful. I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Hill Vault Bling Boss palette, and I'm just going to take a smudging brush and go into Gem. So we're going to follow the same steps we did at the top on the bottom. So I'm just going to go with Gem and really focus on building Gem on that lower lash line, connecting it to the outer corner. And we'll blow that up using the Anastasia Volume 3 mini palette. So you want to connect, you want to build with that color, and then we're going to go back into this brush with the blue, and we are going to just kind of smudge that in, blow it up. Alright, so we're going to lay down some mascara. I'm going to go back into my Roller Lash Mascara by Benefit. I love this. Okay, cool. So we are going to do our lower lash line liner, the waterline, and I do like a white. I'm feeling a white with this look. Alright, so once we have our eyes finished, pretty much up. No, wait. Wait. I do want a popping inner corner highlight, so I'm going to get this guy right here. This is Vanilla Quartz by Becca. And I'm going to grab it right into here. And for setting the complexion, I'm going to go into this guy. So this is my NYX No Filter finishing powder. I really like the way that this looks on my skin. It's very pretty. It just kind of blurs everything, blends everything together. I always like to dust off my baking powder with a face setting powder like this. This is a dupe for my MAC mineralized skin finish powder. I feel like it is literally almost the same thing. Boom. And to contour, of course, we're going to use nothing less than KVD Beauty. My Pore Powder palette has powder all over it. But we're going to take these two guys here to contour and this one to bronze. I love this palette. It is an all-in-one type of palette if you're someone who constantly does contouring and bronzing both. Or if you're someone who's looking for something in your kit, this is a really pretty palette to have. However, they do sell them individually, so if you're looking for just a contour and a highlighting powders, they come together in like an individual compact. It is very nice to keep for you personally. But I've had this as part of my makeup for about 2 years now, maybe a little more. And it was a really good investment. It was worth it. So we're going to go back into Vanilla Quartz and we're going to do our highlighter. I'll put that right here. Once we've done that, I'm going to put on a little bit of blush. I don't want it to be super pink, so I'm going to use this guy. It's more of like a toned down pink. It's called Party by Tarte, and I'm going to take that on my Real Techniques 300 brush. Just like that. This foundation is really matte, so to set, I'm going to use my Morphy Continuous Setting Mist. I just wanted to kind of tone some of the powders down. Even though I did use the Stay Naked, it did kind of like really mattify that Lancome, which I'm not mad at. I like, but you know, I just kind of want to tone that down. So I am going to Princess down here. For those of you who don't know Princess, that's my puppy. My puppy Prince, who's no longer a puppy, but annoying still. I'm going to go and do my hair and then I'll be back to film an outro. Alright guys, so this is the finished look right here. It is very watercolored, mermaidy, purple, colorful. Like I've been in such a good mood lately to try something different, get out of my comfort zone, do things like this that really challenge me, and so I feel like I want to challenge you guys too. Honestly, there's such a nice process that goes into makeup. It's not just about spending money and buying things and having everything. It's really more of a process, and it challenges you to play outside of your comfort zone. It challenges you to try new things that you wouldn't have normally tried, that are hard for you, that are difficult for you, and I feel like that is really why makeup is so important to me personally. But I am going to finish up with my spiel and let you guys go. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like videos like this, so I know what to post on here for you guys. Look me up on Instagram, it's Jojo Palacio. You can also find me on Facebook, it's Jojo Palacio. And subscribe to my channel, guys. I post every Wednesday and every Saturday, and they're videos like this. I'm going to start doing more of a get ready with me type of style video, maybe even blog. There's something very important, very exciting happening, and I feel like I want to share that on blog with you guys. But above all, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.